Get this baby going. All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 12 p.m. Tech Bits. Today we're going to be, here comes Gloria. Today we're going to be discovering more about complex formulas in Google Sheets. So I'm really excited about today's lesson. But just a quick reminder of kind of our setup. And these are 30-minute series. And basically the outcome is to just become more and more familiar with Google Suites and other technology resources, identify ways to utilize those tools, and you're working in the classroom. Make sure that we try to set up these tools and actually practice and play. Tech Bits norms. We want to have everybody participate, of course, but you can always choose to pass. So if I'm putting pressure on you, just tell me to back off. And be an active listener, open and honest. Don't be afraid to take risks. This is kind of a small group or smaller groups. And so we can come together. And if there's a question or something that you're working on at the moment and you need to troubleshoot it with a group, this is a great time to do that. Okay. So on each of these PowerPoint presentations, I add resources. On this one, we covered simple formulas the last time. This time we're going through creating complex formulas. And I've included, God, there's so much on Google Sheets, y'all. My brain is overwhelmed. And I'm going to tell you right now, some of the stuff I just truly, so it takes, I'm very slow and it takes me a while, but I am in it to win it for you guys. And I just keep trying to apply what I've learned to these lessons every time. So there's a couple of things, 18 tips and tricks to using Google Sheets. That one was really, really interesting. There's also like an onion approach to using complex formulas, which I found helpful if you're ever trying to go through your data and need additional information. And then I also, actually not on, I'll add it to the PowerPoint presentation, but on my notes, I added one final one. And this is like a 3-hour video of Google Sheets. And the guy was really, really great. So if you have time or you want to chip away at that, just know that those resources are in there. Okay. Does everybody still see my screen? It kind of popped out. All right. So in today's notes, just so you know, I just kind of go through each of these. And so I have a lot of notes and step-by-step instruction for creating complex formulas. We're also going to have a practice and play session together. So for those of you that came in late, Amanda, would you mind chatting in that link in that chat box? Just repost it. And I also want to make you a co-host. And if you can just let people in, that would be great as they come in. Okay, so let's just jump right in there. Complex formulas. Complex formulas in Google Sheets and in any Excel basically is just knowing the order of operations. You got to understand the order of operations and how the software is geared to reading or how it's interpreting the information that you're giving. So you want to make sure that you understand that old school math order of operations. What we kind of learned about the last time was, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So anything enclosed in parentheses, it will calculate first. The next kind of layer are the exponential calculations. So 3 to the power of 2, for example. And then it goes into multiplication and division, whichever comes first on that. And it kind of groups that together. And then the next order of operations is addition and subtraction. So it's reading it left to right. So you kind of have to have that kind of going back to the basics, really, of please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And that really helps when you're working with those a little bit more sophisticated complex formulas. And that's basically what a complex formula is in Google Sheets. And Excel is just taking a lot of information or data, making sure that you're putting it in the right places and surrounded with the right kind of letting the computer or software know how you would like that data deciphered or calculated. Okay, so you got to just kind of remember these rules and play within them. So let's go ahead and jump right in there. If we can go to the Google Sheet that we have today, I have just a couple of little lessons for us to play with. And I noticed a lot of you are already in there. I'm sorry, I can't tell who's who, but at least we're able to get in there. So this is a simple invoice. It's a catering invoice. And of course, we have our unit price, our quantity, and our line totals. So this is already formulated out, if you notice, with a simple formula. Okay. I would like to, since this is already line totaled out, I would like us to try to figure out how to calculate in tax. And at this point, does anybody feel confident enough or comfortable enough to kind of walk us through that? How to create a complex formula in calculating the tax total. What do we think? Are we feeling it? No? Okay, Amanda's kind of shaking her head. Judy's shaking her head. Okay, I know. I don't like Excel. I mean, let me just say, I love it, but it's very intimidating, and it takes me a while. So let's just think this through, though. We can do this. We've learned the order of operations. Okay, so what I want to do, I already have my line total out. So basically, what I'm doing, right, is I am taking D3, D4, and D5, and I need to multiply it to my tax percentage, right? Is that how we get taxes? Does that sound correct? Okay, so let's do that. So there's a couple of ways to skin that cat. You can use this handy dandy little Greek function icon, okay? And I can start my equation by clicking sum. And what it's basically gonna do is give us the equal sign, and then see how it's set up those sum in parentheses, okay, which is nice. But I'm gonna start this kind of old school. And the way that I start this old school is I enter what? Amanda, I know you know this.
An equal sign.
An equal sign, thank you very much. Okay, so I need to grab these three lines, right? And then what are we gonna do? We're gonna multiply it. Oops. I don't know what I did, sorry. Let me start that over. Equal, see, and now it's being smart. You know, this is a nice thing about Google Sheets. It kind of just already knows where you're going and it's saying, here, dear, let me help you. But I'm trying to make an example of this. So let me do equal signs again. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna drag it down. So I have D3 summing out to D5, and then I'm going to multiply it by a percentage. I'm just going to do 0.55. All right. Or maybe I should do 0.55. I don't know. I'm clicking, tabbing, or entering over. Okay. Boom. It did not understand what I was trying to do. Why do you think that it gave me a horrible error of value sign? What do you think? What am I missing out of this up here?
Parentheses.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so order of operation. This is a prime example of if I do not tell it what to calculate first, it's going to go into the multiplication part. All right, it jumps to the multiplication part, and we don't need to do that. We need to add up our line total first and multiply it next to our percentage. So let's do this again. All right. So equal signs, parentheses. Grabbing my three totals, another parentheses. Now what do I have? How do I multiply it to my, well, I just gave it away, multiply, which is an asterisk, right? And then my percentage 0.55. Let's see what we get. Oh, suggested autofill, no. It didn't work. Why didn't it work, you guys? What did I do wrong? Another person. Oops.
I think you need your sum.
You need I need my sum. Okay, so is that Carmen?
Yes.
Okay, so right now and I needed to put the word sum in. Is that what you're saying to me?
Yes.
Okay, so Carmen brings up a good point and she's correct. I was missing some, and because that was telling the software what to do, right? So that gave me a sum, but I'm still missing the tax total. So at this point, I can do a shift star multiplying it 0.55, and let's see. That doesn't seem right either.
April, it's because 0.55 is 50%. And so since
I do not want 50%. So I
Yeah,
need
it's like
0.55.
0.055.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, you guys. See, it takes.
Or
it takes
use your
a village.
percent sign.
Okay, or use my what now, Carmen?
Or use your percent sign. You could do a 5.5.
Okay, so if I used percent after this, it would work? Is that what you're saying?
Well, not at a 0.55. If you want 5.5, you'd have to do 5.5%.
Okay, so 5.5%, and it's going to be able to read it.
Or like I said, 0.055.
Okay, or 0.055.
I
0.055.
like the percentage sign because it does it for me.
You know what? And that's true. And I was for some reason taught a long time ago not to use percentage signs when creating formulas, but it worked just fine there and I enjoyed it. So, and then there's also, it works now. It was probably the end user, you guys. The other thing that's nice about Google Sheets, and I want to just jump up here to the second navigation toolbar, is the format as a percentage. It also can basically, for dummies like me, will go ahead and do that for me using these, and it will move decimals. It'll create more decimal or zeros between my decimal or less. So I can arrow over to increase or decrease. So just keep that in mind when you're kind of playing around with the thing. Okay, so Carmen, would you like to total or walk me through how to total this out?
You can just sum.
Okay. So the nice thing about Google Sheets, again, it tries to simplify things and make it easy. It already knows where I'm headed. And so if you noticed, it popped up the formula that we need to kind of finish out this deal. All right. So good deal. Order of operations, very important. Oops, let me move this over to the side. And does anybody have any questions? I'm jumping over to the second tab. Okay. So in this one, I would like a volunteer if possible. Is anybody feeling courageous today?
I could do it, but I'll let somebody else do it.
No, I want you to do it. You'll be great. You'll be great. Can I make you co-host? I'm going to make you co-host really quickly. Where are you? And if you can share your screen. I'm so glad you're coming. You're supporting me today. Okay, so you are now co-host. If you can just share your screen and get in that Excel spreadsheet, that way we can see what you're doing, what the master is doing.
Okay, let me.
You could do it, Carmen. I know it.
Okay.
Got it?
Let me see.
Hey,
Oh,
how's it
it's-
going?
I did not. It was a
Oh,
good
don't worry,
stay at
don't worry
home
about it.
day,
You look,
so.
it's okay. It's okay. So just go ahead and click on that green button at the bottom of your Zoom that says share screen and just do desktop and we should be able to see that spreadsheet that we were in.
Sure. Okay,
All
so
right. All right. I need to get out of there. Let me move my
you
big old
could
patootie
do,
out of there.
whoops. Let's just make it easy here.
Okay.
If we do sum, you go sum times 5.5%, close parentheses.
So you did an
Let me
equal
think
sign.
about this.
Okay, because we don't have a line total anymore, right? So you're going to have to
Right.
basically build a complex formula with the 2.79 times the 35 quantity, right? And the same thing goes for the line below it. And then take that and then add it and then multiply it to that total to.
Oh, but we have a subtotal. Okay, never mind. Making it harder than what it needs to be.
No, you're not. We're thinking this
Okay.
through.
Equals
Okay.
parentheses C5 times 5.5% plus C5.
Total with tax. Okay, good job. So let's go back to your formula again and and then we can walk through. Yeah, at the top, she did an equal parentheses C5 times, what is that? A 5.5%, right? So C5, because it was already subtotaled. And then plus, what's that last, C5?
Yes,
Okay.
because the parentheses, of course, figures your tax.
Right.
It takes 143.45 times 5.5, and then it adds it to 143.45.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. So I was making it harder than it should have been. I apologize. I didn't think that it had a subtotal in there. I gotta read the screen. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. Carmen, while you're in here, just go to that challenge tab if you can. Yeah, challenge 2. All right. So final challenge for the day is how do the last bottom 2 things, how do I create a discount with a total with 20%? I want to compare a difference between 20% off and 30% off. So
$30 off, 20% off, or $30 off.
did it say $30 or 30%?
It says $30.
Okay. Yep. $30. Okay. Ooh, good catch, Carmen. Good catch. Okay. So if we were going to do this, what would be the first thing that I would need to do? Okay. So that's not giving us a total with a 20% discount. That doesn't look like. Okay. So Carmen just double checked the work and figured out that that wasn't correct. So let's get this formula right with taking our totals. Okay, there's your parentheses. Go back up again. So we did equals
Oh, I didn't
Okay,
subtract.
I don't,
Never mind.
okay, try,
This should be minus. Oh, that didn't work.
Okay,
It should
let's try this.
be, here we go, minus plus. There you go.
Okay. So walk us back through what you did again, because you were awfully quiet while you're typing.
Well, I just went ahead and threw out an A5, of course, the total of your 3 through 5.
Okay,
So I took that times 20% to come up with the reduction amount. And I took that from E5 by putting the negative in front of the parentheses.
okay, perfect. So again, following the simple order of operations and making sure that they're kind of in the right place. Total with $30 off the discount, Okay. So basically you took the total minus 30,
Yes.
correct? Okay. Okay. That was those are my kind of lessons that I kind of mapped out for you today. Carmen, you can go ahead and stop share. Thank you so much. Good job, Carmen. I need to know, since we have Carmen on and Judy and Kristen and all you guys. So creating complex formulas, but everybody works with such unique data and different data. What are some things that would be helpful to you all? Because I really feel like you kind of get the gist of complex formulas and how to create those. Is it more like getting into the pivot tables and the graphs, those kind of things, or just tips and tricks? Just some of the updates that have happened in Google Sheets. I just want to make sure that when we're developing these graphs, Linda Sanchez says graphs. Thank you, Linda. I agree. We can all use more graphs and pivot tables. Okay. Okay. I believe our next lessons are going to start heading into that area. I may have to, because there's such a lot of content or information, I may have to space these out a little bit more, just depending on the need of you guys. And I don't know, Carmen, do you have any other feedback besides just kind of I mean, because I know you work with data every day and spreadsheets every day. Just any way that I could better support you all. Any ideas or suggestions?
I'm sure I'll
it's
come
hard
up with something. I don't have something right off
right
the top
now.
of my head right now.
Okay, well, that's okay. It's just whenever you think of it. And again, getting into these lessons, there's just so much to learn. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns about today? Okay, let me take a poll this way. Do we feel like we already knew this information and it just really didn't really cover anything different that I didn't already know about? So we recovered orders of operation and just making sure that we are. No, it's good information for me. Oh, Gloria, you're so sweet. Okay, all right. I just want to make sure because, we all come from different spaces and making sure that I'm giving you guys something to think about at least a little bit. So Thank you. It reminds me how to do this correctly. Right. I know we kind of start thinking like when we start working and just have to jump into things, we kind of just develop these different, and it may not be, the structured way, but that's okay, Linda. You always get there. I know it. I know it. All right. Well, that is all I have for today. I think for our next session, let's look at the schedule really quickly. And what I have for next is creating graphs and charts. So we're headed in the right direction. So hopefully I will have some nice little, some good data for you guys to play with and to create charts. And then we can learn more about how to modify those charts once you've created them. So you do have a little bit of controls with Google Sheets, which is nice when you're need to tweak that data a little bit more or change how that graph is appearing to your audience, which is nice. So we'll kind of uncover those tips and tricks moving into those graphs and stuff. So hang in there, and next week's session will be really fun. All right, that's all I have. I'm going to stop recording